Hey, I got to keep this a secret, okay? I was actually able to get an advanced copy of the Super Bowl
Oh
script here. I'm
man.
gonna
Oh
look through this.
nice.
You ready for this? Here we go. Look through this. Just wait a minute. The first half's empty. This that makes no sense.
Maybe it's just a surprise.
Oh my God, we did it!
I don't want to hear it from a guy whose half his fan base is Swifties. Broncos country, let's cry.
Back to the Super Bowl. Why'd they put the trash cans next to the Cowboys helmet?
You could take it and shove it up your...
Peace!
What I really need to be hearing from you, though, is thank you.
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome back to the final episode of Season 4 of the Trajan Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler, and no longer back-to-back Super Bowl champs, but still, damn it, they're still my team. Kansas City Chiefs fanatic, joined alongside, as always, by my good friend, the terrible towel-twirling Trajan. And I know he wishes it could have been a different a different Pennsylvania team hoisting the Lombardi this year. But at this point, I think he'll take it, won't you?
Hey, Pennsylvania team won.
And a former Pittsburgh quarterback did so too.
Yup. And Missouri team lost.
And a Missouri team lost. Yes, that they did. So, yes, welcome to the final episode of Season 4, the Super Bowl recap. And, yep, I mean... God, it's just so much to unpack. I mean, just all the hype, all the belief I had coming into this game, the chance to replace that flag with a potential three-peat, the first team in NFL history to three-peat a Super Bowl era. Man, that would have been so good, so wonderful. But unfortunately, as you can see, with the final result here that did not come to pass, the Kansas City Chiefs fall to the Philadelphia Eagles with a final score of 40-22. And boy, howdy, do I wish we could just erase that first half and just use the final score of what the second half would have been. Because that was just... I mean... talking about like just tripping at the starting line, it was not anything fun to watch. But I've got plenty to say. So Trajan, I mean, you've been waiting over a week, which as you understand, you know, I've been very very ill this past week, and I didn't want to have to half-ass this episode. I wanted to make sure that I was able to put my full, you know, effort into this episode and not just be groggy the whole time too. So that's why the delay. So I will let Trajan have his moment here. I mean, he had to go through 2 straight Super Bowls at my house, seeing all of my happiness. So I will let him indulge into the final I don't want to talk about it of the year. I almost forgot to do that first. So, Trajan, before I do talk about it, I will let you talk about it first. Have fun with it. Let me have it.
I first want to say is this is the Super Bowl party I regret not going to.
I couldn't imagine why.
You know, but for your sake and the knifing that I would have got from all the Chiefs fans there, I'm probably glad I didn't. But anyways, I fully was content with you guys winning.
The truth slipped out on that.
I was content with you guys winning. I was like, yep, they're going to three-peat. I'm going to have to hear, how about them Chiefs? 3-time Super Bowl champion. But no, an angel happened. Several angels. Saquon, Hurts, and a Phillies defense that just rammed it home. And I couldn't be more happy. But I mean, I to your guys' credit, that third quarter, I still believed it was going to be possible. I was like, well, here we go. 28-3. Let's see this happen.
Man, could you imagine like social media if that would have happened? That would just even after that first AJ Brown like OPI that was called, like already social media was melting down over that. I was like, oh, there we go. If the Chiefs do win, there's the scapegoat. There it is, right there. There's the proof. There's the rigged and all that. And so, yeah, that's.
Not gonna lie, I was like, here we fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving it to him. So I was in that camp.
Absolutely. I guarantee 98% of all of the NFL fans we're all in that same boat there. It's just it's just the identity now. That's all it's become. So, but continue. Go ahead and tell us how wonderful Saquon, Jalen, and that offense and that especially that defense was. I will let you continue.
Well, I mean, the star of the show really was the defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pick six, easy points, and then another interception right there towards the goal line. I mean, you guys did pretty good against Saquon. I mean, all things considered. You didn't go after him, but you just forgot that they have A.J. Brown and people like that on the outside. Offensive line did not do good. Your guys' offensive line was just trashed. I think it's just this is the first real team that was an overpowering defense. I mean, we got destroyed by this team as well this year. We got destroyed by 3 teams in a row, but this team like really just gut punched us. And no, it was a Super Bowl team. They were a Super Bowl team. It's not one of those that just eked their way in, and you're like, how did they get a Super Bowl? This was a Super Bowl team.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no shame to this one.
No, I would agree with that. So
yeah, I mean, plus C.J. Gardner-Johnson got his revenge.
I forgot about
on non-slippery grass.
At least, what's his name? Oh gosh darn, who caused the holding penalty in 57? It was God darn it, Bradshaw? No. Gosh darn it, I'll probably remember later on too. But yeah, so no, there was. God dang it, who was it? That's gonna bug me now. But yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna start this. I have plenty I want to say, but I feel like the Chiefs in the first half. I don't know how to start this.
We could start it like Travis Kelce not showing up,
which is, hey, I'm representing this time because if that's one thing. If that was his final game, I gotta show respect to the guy. So. He did not play his best game, and he that was the first thing he admitted to in his most recent New Heights episode. So, and it's one of those deals where he could be retiring. He could come back for 1 year. The Chiefs kind of gave him a soft deadline of middle of March, which makes sense because that's when they started. That's really when they need to start thinking about making moves, creating cap space, or figure out who they're gonna sign or cut and all that. So. We'll see how that goes. For a month from now, or I guess a month and a half from now, because we'll be doing the draft here pretty soon too. We'll be able to talk about it more because we'll probably have more answers by then. But yeah, if this was the last game for Kelce, that's a very sad way to go out. But not the first time a Kelce has gone out a very sad way in the postseason.
Yeah, rings under his belt.
So.
I mean, not a bad time to go.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, first half, terrible. Mahomes, awful. I'll start with that offensive line too, because this felt very reminiscent of Super Bowl 55. You know, had to put so many patches on that tire of the offensive line, and. I mean, jeez, that front four of Philadelphia. I mean, Howie Roseman is the kind of GM that won't just bully you, he will also take your lunch money too. Like, Howie Roseman's the kind of guy, it's like, all right, give me this player and your lunch money. You know, you will accept this trade. Like, you have no choice. Like, think about A.J. Brown. What do the Titans really get? Not a whole lot. Saquon Barkley. What do the Giants get? Not a whole lot. I mean, Roseman is just an absolute bully when it comes to getting these free agent acquisitions. Mekhi Becton from the Jets. I mean, good God, you thought he was committing career suicide, sabotaging his chances with the Jets. Meanwhile, the Eagles are like, oh, absolutely, come on over here. And yeah, Kenny Pickett. Yeah, we don't really need a quarterback, but sure, come on over. Water's fine. You cannot say enough about that front office in Philadelphia, the team that they built this year. And truthfully, for the most part, this team was pretty damn well healthy for most of the year, too, which you look at the NFC, I mean, look at San Francisco. As soon as they started getting interesting, they folded. Like, they were not a threat for half the season. Detroit, I mean, they kept plugging along as long as they possibly could. And it came to the playoffs, and a wild card team took them out.
Yep.
Before I get into what they have to address in the offseason, I do have to say one thing about Brett Veach. That dude kept this train rolling too. He put so many patches on so many tires this year. Because think about this. You lose your second string wide receiver before the season even starts. Then the third week of the season, you lose your number one receiver for the year. You go out, you get Juju back. You go out, you get DeAndre Hopkins. And then you lose Pacheco for most of the season. And what does he do? He goes out and gets Kareem Hunt. And through all of that, and battling the fact that they didn't have a left tackle. I mean, Wanya Morris, fell way below expectations. Kingsley Sotamayu, was thrown in the fire way too soon. You had to just, play around with it. And thank God Joe Tooney had a chance, to show what he could do at left tackle and get them as far as they go. And this team still made it to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, yeah, I could be sad. I could be bummed at the fact that it's like we didn't, three-peat. But at the same time, it's like we really weren't supposed to. I mean, look at how many games the Chiefs barely found a way to win. And yet they still kept finding ways, and they kept finding, pieces to plug back in, and they did just enough to get back to the Super Bowl. Which, as we mentioned last episode, that was history in itself. No team that had won back-to-back Super Bowls had even made it back to a third one. So, hats off to Brett Veach and that front office for doing what they had to do, and they still made it back after all that. I mean, like I said, those other teams I mentioned, when injuries started happening, eventually the wheels came off. And I guess if there's any time for it to happen, can't do much worse than the Super Bowl. So, because that offensive line, it got dog walked. There's no two ways about it. But the fact that team against, a Houston team that, was kind of struggling towards the end, but still was a playoff team, and against a Buffalo team that everyone thought, like, this was the time, and it's like, there's no way they can lose 4 times in a row, right? Josh Allen, he's having MVP season. He's going to lead this team to the Super Bowl finally. This team still found a way to win and get back to the Super Bowl. So, Super Bowl performance aside, I've got to give my hat off to this team. This has still been one of the most fun seasons as a fan, watching through everything that's gone on. So now, of course, it's the offseason. It's the Super Bowl tax. Names like Nick Bolton, Trey Smith, and a name like Travis Kelce. What's going to happen? Because you can't keep all of them. That offensive line is going to be addressed. Are we going to stick with DJ Humphries? I don't know. Are we going to go in the draft again? I don't know. But man, if it's going to be like Sotamayu again where they're not ready, you're just spinning your wheels at that point. Juwan Taylor, that experiment's long over. That needs to be addressed as well. Do I think Pacheco still has room in him? Absolutely. a good, healthy offseason, get back into it, I think Pacheco is going to be the guy again. Would I like to see the Kareem Hunt back again? Sure, why not? One more year? Have them back-to-back as a duo again? I'd love to have P. Ryan back. But you can't keep everybody. If Kelsey does go, what do we do at tight end? Do we ride with Noah Gray? There was rumors that we maybe go get Kyle Pitts because his contract's coming up too. Do they believe in someone like him? That's kind of underachieved expectations, I'd say, and put it nicely. Or do they go
quarterback pay?
Or do they go to the draft again? What about the secondary? Trent McDuffie. He's going to be due a contract here pretty soon. Jalen Watson, coming off the injury. I knew he wasn't going to be 100%, and that got exposed in the Super Bowl as well, unfortunately. I'd love to see him back as fully healthy this offseason too, but we need to address that secondary as well too, because Justin Reed might not come back. Brian Cook, I felt so bad for him, because if anyone deserved that to get an interception in the Super Bowl, it was definitely him, because he had to watch last year's Super Bowl at home after being injured. So kudos to him. It's a damn shame he didn't get a chance to hold a Lombardi, as a player playing on the team. Same with Charles Omenihu. That's a guy that, he could go anywhere and he'll probably get a good contract offer too. But he says he wants to stay because he believes in this. Let's see if his word holds true. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be addressed. And, it hurts a lot more after losing the Super Bowl. And, there's a lot of people that want to believe that this is it for Kansas City. That their dynasty has finally come to an end. And is that true? It could be. This could have been the final straw in this run. And they may take a step back next year. We don't know. But I have to say this. If that is the case, then boy howdy have these past 6 years been absolutely amazing. I could not. You look back at this and it's like, how can you be upset as a fan? How can you sit there and just be mad at everything that's happened to this team over the past 6 years? I mean, look back the previous 6 before that. It was the Alex Smith era. And you felt good because this team's getting better. But they didn't win more than one playoff game in those 6 years. And then you go worse than that. You go the 6 before even that. You had 3 years where you were 4-12 or worse. Or worse. 2012, 2011, 2008, 2009, 2007. 2006, yeah, you made the playoffs, but you lost to the Colts, so you had to squeak in there too. How can you be upset with what this team has done over the past 6 years? Hey, we still got Pat Mahomes. Still got Andy Reid coming back. I don't think it's over. May take a step back here. You can't sustain success in the NFL for forever and ever.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
So, you know what? The Super Bowl sucked. I would have loved to have been a fan of a team that made history. But, hey, thank you, Kansas City, for what was an amazing season. Sad it came to an end like this, but you know what? I'm still excited about next year. I'm not going to get down on it, just because of all the things that they have to overcome. They've had to overcome much worse. Remember 2001 getting rid of Tyreek Hill? Everyone thought the sky was falling and it was done. So,
he might be back.
He could be back. I'm excited to see what Brett Veach has up his sleeves this offseason. That's all I'll say.
I'll also say I saw something about your long snapper possibly retiring.
Winchester, yes, potentially.
Yep. Long time.
Yes, long time, absolutely. Hey, he's one of the few guys that was still there during the Colquitt days.
So let's see here. On a scale of 22 to 40, where would you rank this one as hurting?
you know, man. So this does not hurt as much as 45-44. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. This one does not hurt as much as 18-16. If you know, you know. This one definitely, and I wasn't even there, this one definitely does not hurt as bad as 10-7. And if you know, you know. And my dad sure as hell knows. This one does hurt, but mainly because of very selfish reasons, very spoiled reasons. This would hurt a lot worse if this was the first time we had made it back to Super Bowl in what? This would be 56 years, right? Yeah, 56 years. So there are still teams in this league that have been around for 50 plus years that have not won a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
There are still teams, exactly, or have not been to a Super Bowl. There are teams fans that would clamor and kill for this very opportunity to actually be at the Super Bowl and lose. And there are teams that have been to the Super Bowls and lost that would hope that they would have been on the receiving end of a win in the Super Bowl. So, like I said, for very selfish reasons, yep, this one hurts. But that's what I'm saying. There's no reason for doom and gloom right now. There really is not. You still got the coach, you still got the quarterback, and damn it, you still got the GM who has done very, very well for this team under his tenure as GM. So, like I said, it's not going to be easy for him, but I'm excited to see what he comes up with. And I am definitely excited for the draft coming up, which will be our next video. You know, that'll be the start, unofficially, of Season 5. And boy, howdy, it's going to be a lot of fun next year.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been quite the road this year. We've both seen incredible success. Yours a little bit more so than my team.
Just a little. Just a little.
Just a little.
I got to enjoy football for at least 3 more weeks.
At least 3 more weeks. But, yes, we are moving on to much bigger and greater things.
It's hockey season now, baby. Let's go, Avs. got
officially work on projects around the house season for me.
Got the jersey for the kiddo and everything too.
That's awesome. You know, I got a Penguins sweater that'd be about his size as well.
I'll bet so. Well, I'll probably be getting him a Crosby jersey, but it'll be when he gets traded to Colorado midseason.
It is possible. He deserves to be on a winning team.
They look like they're having fun playing together on Team Canada right now.
Yeah.
McKinnon and Crosby and McDavid. Who knows? Maybe he'll go to Edmonton. Oh, dear God, help us all.
Could go to the Leafs.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh man. Not sure.
I don't wish that on
you know what? I bet he doesn't, because I bet Kyle Dubas would still be too petty to do that to his old team. Now we're getting into inside baseball about hockey. Our listeners will be like, what are they talking about now? So we're announcing we're changing our channel to a hockey podcast now. That'd be a great April Fool's video, right? just talk about hockey. So, alrighty. Well, Trajan, any final thoughts before we wrap up the season 4 of Trajan's Temple Sportcast?
I would like to just do one thing. Take a moment to go over the incredible stats that Chris Jones had in this game.
Why?
Let me read them off to you.
Why?
0 total tackles. 0 solo tackles. But wait, he didn't get a sack. And no tackles for a loss. Did he even play? I wonder.
Did he?
I just thought it was incredibly funny when the wide receiver missed and he's like down on his knees in frustration. I'm like, done nothing.
Why do I do this to myself? That's
to be fair, I've done a lot more. I don't want to talk about it than you.
that's gonna be in the intro probably for next season's in opening video. Oh man. Well, still I still have the memories at least. So, like I said, it's gonna be sad these next few Sundays not being able to wear this jersey. Love this jersey.
No, it's a good jersey.
But you know what? Hey, back to back. I never thought I'd see that in my lifetime. That's pretty damn cool thing to have to look back on. And you know what? Hey, I guess we got to start the three-peat all over next year. So let's see what happens.
Here you go.
And hey, if we get three in a row now, that means we'll have the most Super Bowls.
It's not happening.
Not happening.
Down to the basement you go.
Oh man.
The Raiders with a better season.
Oh man, this division's going to be interesting next year too. So, but we will talk about that more when the draft comes around in April. I am super excited about that too. We'll definitely have a lot of news to talk about for both of our teams when that rolls around. But we want to hear from you down below. What are you looking forward to most this coming off season? Is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? About the same, you think? Love to hear from you. But on behalf of myself and Trajan, thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Click like if you enjoyed this episode. Click subscribe if you really liked it. And if you want to see more for Season 5 next year, tell all of your friends. We're coming back, baby. We're super excited. We'll see you for the draft. And for the final time this season, this is Temple and Trajan signing off.